Okay, so you had recorded a whole album for Entertainment called Cold as Ice. And it had Ghostface Killah, because of that single, but also had The Brat, Lady of Rage,
Yes.
Gangsta Boo, Mobb Deep, Cameron, NORE, and DJ Premier did some of the music.
Yes.
Now, it was promotionally released on August 3rd, but something happened where it didn't get commercially released.
Right.
So what happened?
If you could tell me, I would appreciate it because I don't even know what happened. There was a lot of really like shady stuff going on. And again, me just being naive to the music business and not understanding my deal, not really even understanding the music business at that time. There was a situation where I honestly don't remember all of the specifics, but one of the singles off of the album was being sold, and I didn't know anything about it. And I remember going to and saying, what the hell is going on? Like, why is this single being sold? Like, why am I getting all of these calls and people are telling me this single is out or whatever? And all I remember is writing me a check on the spot, not explaining anything. He just wrote me a check for like a nice amount of money. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is not cool. And at that point, I started realizing like this isn't gonna work. Like, I don't know what's going on. The album kept getting pushed back. I wasn't getting any, logical explanations as to why. And I just was like, why? Okay, so I come to you about a record that is being sold and you just write me a check. Don't explain why you're writing me a check. Don't explain anything. So at that point, I'm realizing like this is not working. In the interim of all of that, I kept saying we still need more records. Mind you, at this time, I'm pretty sure I had recorded probably somewhere between 50 and 60 records. That's how many records I had did. And he introduced, no, as a matter of fact, I was at a Powerhouse show in Philadelphia, which is like a big concert, and I met Gotti. And I think I was talking to him about, possibly producing a record or whatever. It was like a brief exchange. And I think I had kept saying, we don't have the right record. And I'm like, we don't have the right record. Like, we've shot, 2-3 videos off of the Cold as Ice album, and you keep saying we don't have the right record. We don't have the right record. So I don't know what the hell was going on. I know that I think around that time, I believe that Un's deal with Sony was already kind of shaky because, obviously he wasn't producing the albums that he was supposed to be producing or putting them out fast enough or whatever. And I just started realizing like stuff wasn't right. So I started asking Un to release me, and he was like, no, you're like, basically, he said, if you want to leave, you have to pay me, I think he said $1.5 million, or somebody has to pay me $1.5 million for you to be released. So that caused a huge, obviously a huge problem with me and Un. And around at the same time, I would talk to Irv here and there about different stuff or whatever. And I just remember, explaining the situation to Irv one time. And he was like, okay, let me see what, I could find out or figure out or whatever. Irv calls me and says, Charli, you're not signed to Un. Un doesn't even have a deal with Sony anymore. Un is not with Sony. So I'm like, what? He is like, no. Now, time frame wise, this was like a 7-month time span. So within these 7 months that Un is telling me that somebody has to pay him all this money for me to be released, he doesn't even have a deal, and I didn't know. So that just kind of like put the nail in the coffin for me. with as far as our relationship situation, you know, with my album.